How often do you think about the Roman Empire, fellas? And, ladies, the few ladies who watch this. This question went viral last month, but it's actually way older than that. On September 25th, 2022, yes, that's 2022, not 2023, this meme's actually over a year old, a Swedish feminist TikToker by the name of Saskia Kort began dating men for the first time after dating only exclusively women. Saskia posted online in Swedish that men treated her poorly and therefore she wanted to understand how men think. So she asked this question on her Instagram: what do straight single men eat and think about? Two common answers she received were men think about nothing and men think about the Roman Empire. After making that reply public, a lot of other women chimed in, revealing that their boyfriends and husbands actually think about the Roman Empire regularly. Saskia's exchange with her followers went viral, but only in Swedish, appearing on TV and magazines and in the news in Sweden last year. It didn't break into the English-speaking world until August of 2023, when the Instagram account Gaius Flavius posted a short video panning across some ancient ruins with the caption, "Ladies, many of you do not realize how often men think about the Roman Empire. Ask your husband, boyfriend, father, brother. You will be surprised by their answers." I don't know if Gaius took the idea from Saskia or if he just happened to come to the same position by a different path. Saskia certainly believes she's the trendsetter though, and her TikTok account has a few videos where she begs people to recognize her as the true origin of the meme, probably because she wants to go viral along with it. But more important than the failing Instagram career of a Swedish stick of butter is where this question led next. Women began to ask the men in their lives how often do they think about the Roman Empire, and they were genuinely shocked with the replies. Take a look.
Have you seen the TikTok where the woman says, "Did you know that most men think of the Roman Empire daily?" And she asks her husband and he says, "Yes, I do." Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, there is no way that my spouse thinks about the Roman Empire daily. I asked my husband last night in jest, and do you know what this man said? He said, "Well, in some capacity, probably every day." Why?
How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
Every day.
No, be honest.
I'm serious.
No, stop.
How many times, like a week, or just how many times in general, do you think about the Roman Empire?
What about the Roman Empire?
Just anything about it.
Probably not a lot. Why?
Not a lot? When was the last time you thought about it?
Maybe a week or two ago? The Roman Empire was a very big part in history.
How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
How often do I think about it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess technically like every day.
Apparently we're asking guys how often they think about the Roman Empire, and I texted all of the guys that I could think of. How often do you think about the Roman Empire? In passing, about once a month. How often do you think about the Roman Empire? I love this. Pretty often, honestly, but I'm a history nerd. Ooh, the Roman Empire? Haha, actually a lot. My dad is a history teacher, so he said daily right now, but that makes sense. Of course, my brother AJ comes in with, "Is this a TikTok?" And I said, "Yes, I don't have to use your response, but I'm curious." And he said, "Probs weekly." Why are people thinking about the Roman Empire so much?
Do you ever think about the Roman Empire?
All the time.
Why? What are you thinking about it?
Well, because we're in those times right now. Everybody's preoccupied with sports, movies.
My husband doesn't think about the Roman Empire. We've been married for 16 years and he's never once brought up the Roman Empire to me. I said, "Just a quick question. Do you ever think about the Roman Empire?" And he smirks, and without skipping a beat, he says, "I mean, not more than like once a week." "Why?" And I said, "Oh, you're playing with me right now, aren't you? You saw the meme, didn't you?" He said, what meme are you talking about?" I said, "The meme, the Roman Empire meme, the husband meme. Are you playing with me right now, or do you really think about the Roman Empire more than once a week?" He goes, "Well, not like that much more, like maybe once or twice, but not more than that." What? Who are you? What?
What's interesting about this trend, and why I didn't just stuff one of these videos into a TikTok Tuesday and call it a day, is that a lot of women are realizing that the men around them spend idle time thinking about far-reaching ideas that they tend not to consider. That's not to say that women are just automatons, sitting around with no internal monologue whatsoever, as much as Schopenhauer might have believed that to be the case. I would bet that your average woman also spends her idle time thinking about important things, but different important things. Let me explain. I would say personally, Rome probably pops into my head on average once a day or so. And there's a lot of different reasons for that. A conversation about language? Most European languages have a root in Latin or some Latin loanwords or something. conversation about transportation? Roman roads were so well built, some of them are still in use in Europe in the present day. Health and sanitation? Rome invented the aqueduct, and again, some of those are also still in use. Academia? Rome's inventions, its investigations of the natural world, its study of philosophy, were all unrivaled in the ancient era. War? Rome's history is full of warfare, with some of the earliest human examples of complex tactics. Its weapons and armor, and even its siege devices like catapults, are ubiquitous. Politics? Roman history, its progression from kingdom to republic to empire, has left a deep cultural impact on Europe, to the point that the growth and decay of any given society is always compared to the Roman cycle. Rome's laws and political structures impacted the legal systems of Europe, the Middle East, Africa, and its effects are still felt today. Modern political systems appeal to the majesty of Rome and adopt Roman symbols of political authority. Rome was the first true civilizational empire, only rivaled by the Chinese dynasty. Every other human empire falls short in comparison, though you can make a decent case for the modern American empire, much of which it still owes to Rome. In other words, men probably aren't just obsessing over Rome like some autismo. Rather, it's that Rome did so much, lasted for so long, impacted so many other societies, that most topics have some Roman influence within them. Many men who talk about this topic report that one of the main reasons they think about Rome is specifically in the context of its collapse. Rome became decadent and weak, barbarians were at the gates, and the men of Rome could no longer defend their civilization against incursions. Rome's prosperity created civilization, it created leisure, but it also made its citizens less capable of violence. The barbarians, however, they knew no leisure, only hardship, and eventually the balance of power shifted. The strength of civilization eventually creates the weakness that undermines itself. This is where that cyclical view of history comes in, the whole strong men create good times thing. It's no secret that with the economy the way that it is, the overseas wars, problems with migration, climate issues, lots of people believe that we're currently headed into a collapse. I'm not convinced that we are, frankly, but lots of people certainly feel that way. And I think the parallels between the perception of our current situation and Rome's decline is causing a lot of men to dwell on history. Distracting the disaffected pores with cheap entertainment, the bread and circuses period of Rome, has always been an effective short-term strategy used by the elites to prevent a revolution, but it almost always eventually stops working. And there is this sense at this point that we're all just waiting. Another reason men tend to think of Rome is due to the barbarian part of that conversation. Men know, deep down, that should their country ever be at serious risk, it will be them who will be called upon to fight. If there actually are barbarians at the gates, the question becomes, what will men do about it? Yes, I know that there have been some rare competent female fighters throughout history, and technology is certainly equalizing the playing field with female drone pilots and shit like that. But we all know that it's historically overwhelmingly been men doing the defending, and it will remain that way for the foreseeable future. Take the Rome variable out of the conversation for a minute. There's a few Reddit threads out there, and some of those automated Microsoft SAN Reddit reader videos, where the question is women asking men what they're idly thinking about when they space out. And overwhelmingly, men give an answer that revolves around some type of violence. What would they do if a gunman suddenly burst into the restaurant that they're at? Where's the emergency exit? Where can they take cover? Is there any way to fight back? What happens if a fight breaks out at the bar? Could they take that guy? Who's got their back right now? What if a bear or a tiger or some other dangerous animal was suddenly in their front lawn? How do they get the family out? A lot of male daydreaming revolves around violence. Not sadistic violence against the victim, but defensive violence during a possible emergency to help those around them. This even extends to less violent scenarios that are still dangerous and require decisive action. What could they do if they drove by a car accident or a house fire? Men commonly report that they're overwhelmingly just waiting around hoping to save the day somehow, even if that means hurting themselves in the process. Framing this conversation in terms of Rome is falling, there's barbarians at the gates, what can we do to fix the situation, is a pretty funny meme, but it goes deeper than Rome. Most men feel the desire to be useful to those around them, and they tend to self-destruct when they can't be. More than anything else, this is the greatest risk that automation poses, by the way. It's also the main reason that men tend to reject socialism or welfare capitalism more than women do. For the average guy, there seems to be an innate desire to be the type of person who invests more into a system than they withdraw from it, at the final count. Women know this and take advantage of it, and that's not inherently negative. It's not all just e-thoughts draining the wallets of simps. Men are happy to serve the women they're devoted to. They just want devotion back. Funny enough, this whole thing spawned a sub-meme called My Roman Empire, where women describe the things that they think about as much as men think about the Roman Empire. Most women mention movies or pop stars or celebrity shit, though one of them does say that her Roman Empire is eating the rich.
What's my Roman Empire? So glad you asked, let me tell you. It is eating the rich. And I don't just mean any rich person. I mean the uber wealthy. The top 1%.
In general, women tend to outline less civilizational, more localist daily life concerns as the Roman Empire. And when they do think about those larger concerns, they do so from a position of desiring more equality. Like I said at the start of the video, that doesn't automatically make those things lesser or bad or something. We all know that equality is a destructive force ultimately, because it makes the best people on par with the worst. But we also know that a society with too much inequality tends to collapse. And in a more general sense, we all know that it's the little things that make life worth living. It's those local, daily life concerns that are the most enjoyable. I think this is just another data point in a long series of data points showing that men and women are different and complementary, and that both are necessary, that they both make things better. All of those smaller order concerns, the ones that women tend to focus on, those are the things that make manning the walls worthwhile. Men know that they need to maintain their society, but women know why it needs to be maintained. Though at the end of the day, maybe it's just because we all want to get dominated by goths. Who knows?
Just out of curiosity, how often do you think about the Roman Empire?
Not that often. Why?
Give me a rate.
I mean, I used to think about it a lot more in high school than I do currently.
Why?
Because I was taking history classes in high school. Let's say 1 or 2 times a month.
Okay. Oh. You know?
That answer.
No. I was kind of expecting never, because that's the answer that most women give. I was not I guess, you know what? You giving the middle of the road answer sounds about right.
Yeah. Transsexual for women.
Oh my god. So Nimi wanted to point out that she's not actually trans, right?
Not.
You just did it.
For the memes.